So many dope young entrepreneurs are out there just killing the game right now.
Hey guys, welcome to the UpNext podcast, where we are interviewing teen entrepreneurs that are making it big time in the startup world. We are asking the questions we know you want to hear. UpNext is an app made for teens where anyone can join or build a real life startup. Okay, our guest today is Essynce Moore, age 18, originally from New Jersey, currently in Atlanta, Georgia. She is a teen entrepreneur, an author, a motivational speaker, a fashion designer and stylist. I could keep on going, but we have more to talk about. She has founded a Easy Couture, Essynce Couture spa and boutique, which is exclusively for children. Super cool. The university, which is facilitated by children, tweens, and teens with the direction of adults. And just pretty much empowering young minds in general, really just kind of putting everything out there and letting kids run the game, which is something that, not a lot of people have the open-mindedness for. You started all of this at the age of 10. I am at a loss of words. Do you have anything else to add, Essynce?
Well, first, thank you so much for having me. Yes, I am a fashion designer, author, actress, and motivational speaker. I've published 3 books that are mandatory readings in schools, and I'm a caterer and advocate for the youth.
Amazing. Couldn't have said it better myself. So how did you know that what you're doing is going to work? Like, how did this even come to mind?
Well, I don't know if one ever really knows if their idea is going to work, but I knew that I was passionate, and I knew that if I put my mind to something, I could do absolutely anything. So with that, along with the support of so many, I managed to do what I do.
Yeah, pretty much giving anything a new meaning here, I mean. So who would you consider your first mentor, and what did they help you go through?
So I would definitely say my mom is my first mentor. She's an entrepreneur as well. So growing up, I was always in the entrepreneur atmosphere. She would take me to events with her. She's an event planner, and I would work the cotton candy or snow cone machine. So I was just always in that environment of being your own boss and having what it takes. And she was constantly instilling me with gems and all kinds of knowledge about the business world.
Oh, I love that. I love event planning in general. I always thought that was like the coolest thing. And any way you can take part, always giving your parents credit. I'm sure that they feel that all their hard work is paid off. So how much time did it take for you to build this empire that you have now?
So it definitely took some time. A lot of different elements went into play. I started when I was 10 and we launched, and then I published my first book about 2 years later. I wrote it when I was 11, published it when I was 12. And so it took some time, it took some patience, but it's all about, just building the journey and falling in love with the process rather than the destination.
Totally. I mean, you started this 8 years ago, and you can probably still say that you're still building, so the process is endless. And how much money was needed for building the first version? Was there any funding? Did you fund it yourself?
So we started off with some t-shirts. I started off with fashion. I always say fashion is my first love. And so we got some shirts made that I designed, and that cost about $500. And it was coming out of our own pocket, along with the support of some others, contributing their services and sources and things to that nature. But I would say about 500.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not, I mean, for what you have now.
Yeah,
not much.
Gotta start somewhere, yeah.
And how did you get those first users, those first customers? What was that like?
So in terms of getting our first few customers, the power of networking, honestly, just putting yourself out there, shaking some hands, getting to know people, and coming at it from a very authentic, genuine place. And networking, it's always, I've heard many a times, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. And I definitely took that into consideration when it came to building relationships.
Yeah, it's totally something to think about. And you seem like quite the people person. I mean, right off the bat.
Thank you.
So it's really, there's a dynamic. That's great. What's one mistake that you would avoid, that you know now that you would just step back?
So honestly, okay, I don't have any regrets because everything's led me to where I am. You learn from your mistakes, but something I probably wouldn't do again is I want to say doubt myself, doubt my capability, which is something that comes very naturally to us, unfortunately. And the thing is with that, it's so normal, it's so natural to do, but it's one of those things where you want to step into your power and realize what you are capable of. You can do it. And it's important to have that mentality and build that state of mind. And so that's one thing I'd probably try to avoid doing again. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like we not only doubt ourselves, but justify the fact that we're doubting. Like, oh no, I'll even explain to you why I know that this is not going to work. And you never know. So, what are 3 traits you look for in a business partner or co-founder if you have one?
So I love this question. I would definitely say one would be authenticity. I need someone who is coming at things from a genuine place and genuine intent. 2 would be consistency. Consistency is very important to me, not only being able to do something, but being able to stick to it. And 3rd would probably be communication. Communication is so important. And it's important to me that we can come at things and even just disagree respectfully, which is something not a lot of people know how to do. So those are definitely things I would look for.
Yeah, like they say, it is key. And this is someone that you're going to talk to endlessly, so you might as well have the conversation be a nice one. So being so young, I don't even want to say how old I am. Don't even look at me.
You look young. We could have gone to school together.
Well, yeah, I have people still asking me what grade are you going to? Totally.
Yeah.
So what is one advantage and one disadvantage that you found throughout this journey, being so young, dealing probably with people that are obviously older than you?
So one of the disadvantages I would definitely say is a lot of people having a hard time taking you seriously as a young entrepreneur. A lot of people still see me as a kid with a dream, and I'm constantly working to push past that boundary and be taken seriously and understand that I have not limited myself to anything. Therefore, I am not limited to anything. I am absolutely capable of anything I put my mind to, and that is something I am constantly having to prove. And so one of the advantages would definitely be, it's crazy because a lot of people would think of it as a disadvantage. A lot of people think that when you are a child entrepreneur, you are sacrificing your childhood and all these different things. But I've gotten to experience so many wonderful things and be able to travel and meet so many different people. And one of the advantages is definitely being able to inspire my peers all around the globe. And it's a beautiful thing that I'm so grateful to be able to do.
Yeah, it's a totally different experience than a regular childhood. I mean, I wouldn't say that you're missing out at all. I'll be totally honest. Childhood was pretty boring sometimes, so.
It could be on either end. Yeah.
You took advantage of the time. And the fact that you said that, it's a disadvantage that people don't take you seriously, I think that kind of comes hand in hand, because at first it's a disadvantage, but it becomes an advantage once they're like, oh, I will eat my words. I am wrong.
Right. So, when you turn it into a motivation, yeah.
It goes in the right direction. So building all of these empires that you have, that people, the spa and the learning aspect and everything, is there some kind of tech tool that you have that you can't go without? Maybe like an app or a website or something?
It's so funny about this question. My laptop isn't working. It literally stopped working last night, and I'm freaking out because I got work to do. So I would definitely say, my laptop, my phone, anything I can have easy, quick access to, because I'm constantly on the go, constantly on the move. So yeah, definitely those two.
And would you say just, emails and organization tools, would that be the basics?
So yeah, definitely the basics, definitely standard contact information, a business number someone can call. I've had, it's funny, I've had kids call my business number and just need someone to talk to. And I do motivational speaking, so that's something, we'll be on the phone, just chatting it up. So how did you handle this? I would definitely recommend you doing this. So those are definitely some tools I've used, yeah.
Yeah, I think the next thing is opening a hotline. I think there'd be, off the hook.
Yeah.
So the next question, I usually get a really typical answer, and I'm pretty sure that it's not going to be the case with you, which I'm excited about. Which entrepreneurs inspire you the most these days?
So entrepreneurs that inspire me, definitely I would have to say my mom, for sure. I would also have to say so many dope young entrepreneurs are out there just killing the game right now. For example, I would say King Na, that's my little bro. He's a motivational speaker. He's so talented and just so outspoken and wonderful. I gotta say, my girl Egypt, her consistency is crazy. She owns Chubby Line. She has a clothing line catering towards women of all shapes and sizes. And another one would probably be my friend Tyann. She's a musician, and her business, she's a fashion designer as well. She's constantly doing amazing things, and I've known her since I was like 11 years old, and we were both going to fashion shows for the first time. So those are definitely some of my biggest inspirations. Just seeing them do what they do so beautifully and consistently, it's inspiring.
That sounds amazing. I'd love to meet all of these people.
Yeah.
I love the direction that you took this question. Most people are like, Elon Musk, he's great. And like, we don't know him. Like, how does he?
Yeah.
I like that these are real people doing real things. Like, they really do literally inspire you. So that was,
Right.
I knew
It hits different when you see it with your own eyes. It's a really beautiful thing to witness.
Yeah, it just makes you want to like, I want to do it too. So which trait of yours do you feel is your weakest and you need to outsource it maybe with, another person or some kind of tech platform that helps?
So I would probably say, okay, I'll tell you what it used to be. It used to be networking. It used to be difficult for me to network. And this is something my mom had to familiarize me with for sure, definitely. And just tell me the importance of not only building those relationships, but maintaining them. Because I was able to build them, I was able to formulate them, but I was lacking in my consistency. That's still something I'm working on. So even now, just, sharing and just liking posts, like giving that consistent love and support, and that's definitely something that I struggled with before, but now it's come so naturally. I put in so much practice in it. And so, yeah, that's definitely something I'd say.
Yeah, something that you learned from just keeping yourself in the picture. Like, I haven't forgotten you, don't forget me.
Right.
It's
Because
important.
it's easy to get busy and forget. You're like, well, wait, let me check on them. Let me see how they're doing. Yeah. Constantly putting off phone calls. It's important.
Yeah. So let's say I am an average teenager looking to build a startup and a company and whatever you want to call it, and all I have is $100.
Mhm.
What or where or how would you instruct me to use this money, if at all?
Well, first, I'd say $100 already puts you in an advantage of so many, believe it or not. So it's all about using your resources. So I would definitely invest in some products. That's a good way to build funds. I would look into private labeling and things to that nature. And that's a good way to just start, stacking up a little bit. And then when you get to a broader amount, I would look into, of course, getting all the legal stuff done, making sure you got your name in that all set and straight just for you. And definitely, again, networking, building social media, and getting a publicist, PR, all of that good stuff. That is definitely something I would recommend.
Great, duly noted. Thank you for that. So as a young entrepreneur, how important do you think it is for young entrepreneurs everywhere to think about social change when creating a business?
I think it's very important that we understand we are just a small piece in a very big puzzle. There's so many things that are going into play here. And so when you take the time to make a difference, you are taking the time to make history. And I feel like there are so many necessary changes we need to see in our education system, in our environment. And so it's important to take that extra time and that extra step, because at the end, man, this is all we got, this planet. And so we might as well take care of it, because we in it together. Realistically, it is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we really should be. We should be quoting this conversation. I mean, some people might think that there's Mars, but that we can try
But Yeah, we got this right here, right now.
Yeah, and it's the best. So in all seriousness, last question. If you could have any superpower in the world, what would you pick?
I'm so glad you asked. Okay, I've had this conversation with my friends many a times, and everyone's always a little confused by mine at first until I explain it. But I would love telekinesis, like the ability to move stuff with your mind. I think, wait, is that telekinesis or no? Okay, I was confusing telepathy and telekinesis. But
Right,
I would love to be able to move things with my mind.
You're
Like growing up, yes. And literally the reason I wanted this power so badly when I was little is so I didn't have to clean my room. I can just, move things accordingly. But I would definitely say telekinesis. Yeah.
But now it's just like getting things done accordingly, typing,
Right.
doing that, and doing this.
Right. Managing a bunch of businesses at once, an entrepreneur's dream.
Yep.
Yeah.
Being everywhere.
Right.
So, Essynce, I really love everything that you have going on. I mean, I love that it's not only one thing, it's one on top of the other, and they all come together. And I think what you're doing is really empowering and inspiring, especially, female entrepreneurs that I don't have the, let's call it, the luxury of talking to so many of them. So I'm really happy that we found you, and I look forward to seeing what you do next.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
We are so happy to do so. And I hope we can do it again sometime.
Absolutely. Look, building relationships. Yeah.
Just networking 101 right here.
Yeah.